Hey everyone, Mackenzie Wilde here with Wilde Child Horsemanship, and welcome back to the Wilde Child Academy. Have you maybe started to notice that your horse isn't really making the progress you're looking for in your training? Maybe you've noticed that they've hit like a plateau. They're not really making more progress, but they're also not making any less progress either. Or maybe you've begun to notice that your horse has started to regress in their training, maybe even to the point where they're worse off than when you first started working with them. Fortunately for you guys, we have compiled this video course of 10 common mistakes that people tend to make when training their horses. As much as we all hate to admit it, it is scientifically proven that a good portion of the problems we face with our horses are actually man-made. And so we decided to create this course for you guys so that you can maybe pinpoint something that you could be doing wrong, learn some things that people tend to do that can affect the ability or their ability to make progress with their horse, and overall just offer some ways for you guys to learn something. The first common training mistake we're going to be discussing is untimely responses. So what exactly does this mean? So let's take Miss Maple here, for example, right? Let's say I'm asking Maple to back up, right? So I ask Maple to back up, I apply some pressure with that lead rope, and you can see that I just immediately release pressure, right? But now let's say I'm asking Maple to back up, and I don't release pressure until like right now. Okay, we just got 2 steps backing up out of Maple, which is a good thing. But untimely responses is basically when you don't respond to the horse's behavior within a timely manner. And because of that, the horse doesn't necessarily associate what they did with your response. They don't understand the cause and the effect. Let's take a positive reinforcement approach, for example. Let's say I'm teaching Maple to target. Okay, I ask her to hand target, and you can see right here that she doesn't really know what I'm asking her to do, right? I haven't really worked with Maple on targeting very much, so this is a behavior she doesn't really know. But anyway, let's say she were to touch my target or touch my hand target, and I don't immediately reinforce that behavior. That's where bridge signals can come into play, because that bridge signal can make it so that the horse hears that signal as like, oh, I did what I was supposed to, now I'm going to get a treat or a reinforcer, right? And so we want to make sure that we are responding to our horse's behaviors within a timely manner. There's something in horse training called the 3-second rule. And so basically this rule states that you want to respond to your horse's behavior within 3 seconds in order for them to associate what they did with your response. Horses lack a large developed prefrontal cortex. This is the part of the brain that controls their ability to think very far ahead into the future or very far into the past. So when we have untimely responses in training, we're going to create a lot of confused horses. Maybe we're trying to decrease behaviors and discourage behaviors from happening, but due to those untimely responses, those behaviors are going to keep being repeated even though we've tried to discourage them on countless occasions. The same thing goes for if we're trying to encourage a behavior and encourage the horse to continue repeating that behavior. If we have those untimely responses, they don't realize, hey, when I did this, the handler responded in this way. The horse isn't going to be able to associate that, and we're going to see those behaviors not being repeated even though we've tried to encourage them time and time again. In summary, untimely responses are one of the biggest mistakes that beginner horse trainers tend to make. By having untimely responses, you create confused horses, you create horses that aren't going to learn anything because they are simply unable to associate your response with their behavior. So I hope you guys all enjoyed the first episode in the 10 common mistakes made in horse training. If you would like to go and watch the other 9 episodes and see the other 9 mistakes that people tend to make during their training, I highly recommend you guys go check out the Wilde Child Academy. If you go and subscribe to our academy, you can get a bunch of different videos, a whole bunch of video series that you can go to learn, expand your horsemanship, and figure out how you can continue making progress with your horse. With that being said, please don't forget to go and check out the books we have on the shelf. We have a merch store. We have all kinds of awesome things. We also run a nonprofit horse rescue called Mending the Soul. Maple is actually one of those horses that we took in from a difficult situation. There was a family that ended up rescuing Maple. They took her in, they got her healthy, and then they sent her to us to get some training and find her a forever home. So don't forget to check out our Mending the Soul pages as well to see how you can help us help more horses in need. Thanks so much for watching, and Maple and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.